So you're running an online business and you have scaled your business to a certain revenue range, and now you want to acquire more clients by booking more sales calls, but the volume that you're doing with whatever currently you're doing, that could be cold email, cold DMing, organic posting, referrals, and so on and so forth, is not really enough to scale your business to the level that you'd like to scale. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining you how to book unlimited sales calls with a VSL funnel through advertising and scale your business to the point you'd like to scale. That could be 100K a month, 500K a month, $1 million a month. And this is going to be the exact blueprint we follow for our clients at Advergent. If you don't know who I am and this is your first time in the channel, my name is Batu. I'm the founder of Advergent. We scale companies and businesses online or offline with advertising funnels and help them double their pipeline, triple their pipeline with advertising. Currently, we are managing multi-six figures a month in ad spend across our portfolio of clients. And this exact funnel I'm going to be giving you for free today has generated $168,000 of revenue for a brand new agency owner with 33 close rate on cold traffic. We only spent 35K, booked 129 calls and generated $168,000 of revenue. Another one, this is a B2B SaaS company. We actually doubled their monthly recurring revenue by selling high ticket front end, scaled their offer from $95,000 to $187,000. And this one, $268,000 of cash collected in 63 days by spending $47,000 in advertising. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the reason number one, your calendar feels empty after a certain point that you have scaled your business is because of the fuel you put into lead generation. Some channels are incredible for getting off the ground and signing a first couple of clients and getting to a certain revenue point. But after that, you will feel like you had a plateau and you cannot scale past, let's say 20, 30, 50K a month. And that is entirely because of the amount of inputs cannot generate enough outputs as you desire. You have to double the amount of effort you put into a specific channel, which got you off ground. And unfortunately, it is maybe twice, maybe thrice as efforts that you put into lead generation and sales at the same time. But for advertising, it is not the same. You put the twice effort or thrice effort into the sales, yes, but for lead generation, it is pretty much automated and extremely predictable with the correct math made behind it. And even when you're running cold DMs and you double the amount of effort you put into it, majority of the times you are one of the 40, if not 100 pitches in their inbox. And that results in you getting ignored, or even in the best case scenario when you book in a call with them, but it's like ice cold calls that needs education. So your sales team or yourself, if you're handling your sales process, spend your entire 30 minutes or 45 minutes of that quote unquote sales call to educate people on what you're doing, what your systems does, and so on and so forth. And you have no time left for your pitch or presenting your services and your offer to your ideal client. And this could be the case for the advertising funnels as well. I'm not saying advertising funnels solve this completely, because when you do not implement something correctly, it is not going to make any difference between channels. At the end of the day, for someone that is cold, that who has no idea your business and you exist, they definitely need some kind of an education and nurturing in place for them to be able to reduce the trust gap and also the education gap about your business and yourself as well. So even if you run ads to a bare calendar with zero framing before booking, you'll probably have 50% of them disqualified immediately, which is extremely bad. And imagine your show rates are gonna be also terrible, that this 50% disqualified is going to impact your business negatively and dramatically. So the way we are getting over this ice cold problem, making it possible to get people to make a decision between like 48 to 72 hours by the VSL funnel. The VSL funnel could also be implemented into a webinar funnel as well, which there will be another video that you can watch in this channel. But for this one, we are implementing the VSL funnel. The VSL funnel is the infrastructure of the entire funnel system that you're going to be building on top of it later down the line and as you scale. If you do not have your cold funnel dialed in very well, the other funnels that you're going to be building inside your business are going to fail desperately. So the new way is obviously through advertising. It starts with ads, and you send that ad traffic to a VSL page over here, which is a seller for you 24/7. There's usually headline, sub-headline, 6 to 8 minute VSL, which I'm gonna go a little bit more in detail about every component of this part of a funnel. And a VSL page lets people to submit an application, and if they actually pass the application conditions, they can book in a call with you in your calendar and then jump on a call with you over a sales call. But there are obviously a very important system that we put in place between the calendar booking and the sales call. all. And across several funnel types that we implement for our clients, VSL is actually my favorite one because the math in VSL funnel never lies, okay? When you dial it in properly, it is definitely going to generate you great results, okay? So let's do a conservative math and let's imagine that you get 1,000 clicks on your ad that went to the landing page. Out of those clicks, let's say 35% of them actually view the VSL, which gives us the number of 350 people. Out of those viewers, let's say only 10% of them submit an application, which leaves us with 35 people. And out of those 35 applications, let's say 60% of them are qualified and are able to book, which is gonna leave us with 21 people later down the line. And out of those 21 who booked, 80% of them, let's say, show up, which leaves us with 17 people, 17 sales conversations we can have with our prospects, and with a 33% close rate on your offer, which if you know your offer well and if you're competent, you should be able to close at this rate. To be honest with you, you're going to be left with 5 to 6 clients out of those 1,000 clicks. The average cost per click that we see on Meta, obviously it depends on the industry as well, but the average is $2.5. And out of those 1,000 clicks, what you're going to be paying to advertising is going to be around $2,500. And even if you close one client at 5K deal size, you're going to have 2x ROAS in your ad spend, which is going to validate the funnel for you and will give you the sign that you should actually improve your sales process, not the advertising, because as long as you keep up and scale your advertising efforts, you are going to have a full pipeline of prospects that you can close for your business. And imagine the scenario where you close, let's say not even 5 to 6, but 3 to 4. 3 clients at 5K deal size is going to be making 15K in deal size, which for a $2,500 of an ad spend, it makes roughly around 7x ROAS. And that is the entire reason in our experience, the VSL funnel is the most suitable funnel type for a high-ticket service coaching offer or some kind of a program. Okay, Batu, this sounds good, but how am I gonna implement this VSL funnel? You have been talking about numbers, you have been talking about how you scale people, but where is the step-by-step implementation, which we're gonna be going over our 8-step build of the VSL funnels now. And we start with building from back to front. And what I mean by this is that before you build anything, you should definitely make sure that you optimize your offer for cold traffic. Let's say you are a coach or some kind of an online business that goes viral consistently on social media and have been getting inbound leads out of LinkedIn, out of Instagram, Facebook, whatever medium you're using on social media. If you try to sell that offer on cold traffic, you're gonna fail dramatically, because the difference between selling to inbound leads and outbound leads is that inbound leads might be following you for 3-4 months or maybe even a year before making a decision, and they're going to be knowing you pretty well and what you sell, and they're going to buy immediately from you. The inbound leads wait until they are ready to buy from you. Outbound leads needs the help to get ready, buy from you. And that's the entire difference between the inbound audience and outbound audience. And when you are running ads, because you're not going to be spending your biggest budget on retargeting, which we do not let our clients do that, because the most important thing for us is to reach as many people, as many cold people as possible that we can retarget later down the line. You need a guarantee and risk reversal in your offer so that you can convince people to take on the risk on your expertise and try to grow their business, change their lives, transform their lives, whatever that might be. And the best way to optimize for cold traffic is to have several offers in place that you can sell depending on the economical and financial situations. Obviously, you're not going to be selling done for you for everyone, but you might have an offer that is done with you for everyone to further liquidate your ad spend a little bit for those who cannot qualify financially but still wants to work with you. So you build your offer, you build the entire curriculum and the structure of your services or packages or your program, and then you give everything in the VSL except the gap that you have to implement for them. And that gap is the implementation. Think about me. I'm giving you everything for free about what goes into building a VSL funnel or a webinar funnel and so on and so forth. And if you want to take this information, do it yourself, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to hire me to implement this for you, obviously that is going to be a done for you service that me and my team are going to be serving for you to grow your business. So you're giving everything except for that gap. Obviously, you're going to be talking to one niche, one avatar, and one promise. Identifying your avatar is extremely important, because if you talk to everyone, you cannot sell to anyone. You should be hyper specific with who you want to work with inside your business. Of course, you can have several different personas. In that case, we're going to be building campaigns separately for each one of those personas rather than selling the same offer to each one of them. If your offer is applicable to several personas, then that's not a problem. But being hyper specific with your offer, with your messaging, and with your intention towards those cold audiences is extremely important. And once you nail down the back end of your offer, it's time to write your VSL. We typically write an 8-step VSL. This is the structure we implement for our clients consistently without any exceptions. This is typically between 6 to 8 minutes because especially if you're selling to a B2B buyer, no one is going to watch a 40-minute video right after clicking an ad. Because keep in mind, the ad attention is not earned attention, it's borrowed attention, okay? You borrow that attention by giving them a reason to click on that ad, and their trust towards you is at the lowest ever it will be, okay? You need to build that by being strategic. And if you want someone to watch a 40-minute video from someone that they have just met 30 seconds ago on social media, you're extremely wrong. You should be more efficient with your timing in your VSL and your landing page copy. In some cases, we even go down to 3 to 4 minutes, especially if it's an extremely sophisticated market and people actually have seen the same offer over and over again. That 3 to 4 minutes is for the differentiation of ourselves from the competitors and building authority. And the rest of the landing page is going to be the text reflection, which we're going to go dive into the structure of the landing page as well in the next step. But the rule of thumb is 6 to 8 minutes, keeping it short. And you're going to be talking about them. You're going to be talking about their business. You're going to be talking about their problems, what kind of solutions they seek. You're going to define their model of business and their problems and solutions that they have been seeking rather than describing your services. Because these people want to understand, can you identify my problem as a vendor? That is the number one factor in further borrowing someone's attention in a cold traffic landing page. And once you install the belief in their minds that you understand them, you can also go into describing your services as well. And remember, every section in this VSL format needs to move beliefs from where they are currently to where you want them to be afterwards, okay? Otherwise, you should be cutting it because it doesn't provide any kind of a value to your viewers. We start with hook and then we reveal the mechanism of our solution in 3 levers. Typically, these are front-end acquisition, delivery, and then the expansion. After that, you tackle a few objections that they might have right after hearing those mechanisms and then showcasing your differentiation against other competitors. And then you stack credibility and restate the problem identification that you have done inside the hook and the mechanism showcase. Right after that, you deep dive into the metrics to demonstrate that this is actually working for you. And then you build the false belief bridge, which is gonna get them to the solution in 3 phases, plus stacking proof that this solution works. And then you're gonna be doing a simple close, which is call to action for them to book in a call with you and have a sales conversation with your sales team or with you. And after that, the VSL page. So I've touched on this a little bit, but the page, top to bottom, needs to be extremely cold optimized, and you need to cut down everything that doesn't provide any value or proof or any reason to work with you in the first place. Sometimes people act a little bit emotional and say that, hey, we need to have this, we need to have that. No, you don't have to. The only thing you need to have in your landing page is answering 3 questions above the fold. What's in it for me? Why you? And how do you do this? So the headline, the subheadline, the CTA, and the proof stacking right after this section actually tackles all those 3 questions. And a landing page is going to be the exact text reflection of whatever you talk about inside the landing page. Because the reason we're having a video sales letter in our landing page, in our sales page, is not because we are trying to prove that we have a really good video editor that can make really good videos, but the fact that people have different consumption behaviors. Some people like to read, some people like to watch, some people like to listen. So we give them every format of the marketing assets that we can provide to them for them to make a decision whether or not they want to have a conversation with us. And that is the entire reason we are having a VSL. You could totally skip the VSL, but across $25 million of advertising experience, we have seen that having the VSL over there lifts the conversion rate and quality booked rate significantly. So the rule of thumb for the landing pages is that there should be no timers or no forced watch gates, okay? Do not get people to watch 5 minutes of your VSL before they can submit an application. Someone should be able to click on your ad land on your landing page and submit an application immediately, because some people don't want to think, okay? For some people, the advertising was persuasive enough and they just want to have the conversation with you, okay? You do not force anyone to watch or read anything unless they don't want to, because it feels like a homework and it will increase your drop-off rate significantly, that you're gonna miss out on the big cut and share of the market by doing this, okay? So do not have them. And once you build out the landing page, it's time for the application and the calendar integration. So the reason we're having an application bridge between the landing page and the calendar is because of few reasons. The difference between the calendar first and the application first type of a funnel is that with the application first funnel, you get to qualify people before they see the calendar to book in a call with you. You could do conditional routing to a sorry we cannot work with you page in case they give you an answer that you do not want them to submit in the application form. The ones that submit an application and pass through a specific criteria usually are higher intent, and they also invest effort. And this is typically a B2B high ticket default, but I definitely recommend for B2C leads as well. So the application should be between 3 to 6 questions without so much friction, okay? If you don't need that specific information, do not ask it in the application form. You're gonna be asking about your current state, what have tried so far, their budget reality, and the timeline they are willing to start with this. Every extra question costs you volume and buys you quality, but it is very important to find that sweet spot. You're gonna be having very few calls, but they're gonna be extremely high quality. You can definitely work around with mid quality as well. So compromise on the questions you wanna ask in the front end, get more qualified people into the pipeline, and you can do the further qualification inside a sales call as well. And because you're having down sells and different pillars of offers, for anyone that is health qualified, you could sell a done with you service or a consultation offer and so on and so forth. Definitely have same week slots only, because the distance between the booking action and the sales call kills the conviction. And the trick that we have discovered for the application forms is that when you are asking the name, the email, and the phone number, do it in the second half of the form submission. Because if you ask right away for their name, their email, and phone number, they get pissed off and they drop off the landing page. But once they answer a few specific questions from you, because they are already invested, they are being more willing to give you their personal information. So that's the trick that we have discovered. So after they submit an application and book in a call with you, the actions that you take between the booking action and the sales call is extremely important, and is going to determine how fast and predictably you can scale your business. Because getting someone to book in a call with you is the easiest part, but for cold traffic, reducing the trust gap and the education gap in a very short period of time is the hardest thing to tackle. So because of that, we are implementing a pre-call engine between the booking action and the actual sales call for anyone who books in a call with us. And the way we are doing this is, as soon as they book in a call with you, they get redirected to a landing page that is like a mini academy. It's a confirmation page with 5 to 20 breakout videos with 1 to 3 minutes each, and it explains the frequently asked questions, the timeline, pricing transparency, and so on and so forth. Obviously, having only a confirmation page is not really enough, because majority of the people do not really watch them, but it is still really good to have as a sales asset inside the confirmation page, because for a serious buyer, they will definitely watch it, okay? But at the same time, what we are doing is 72-hour hammer type of advertising. We are typically retargeting people at 15 to 20 frequency, meaning that one person is going to see at least 15 to 20 short form and long form assets from you on social media. This could be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever that might be. And at the same time, we are sending them value dense emails at 2 to 3 per day. And we are combining these efforts with a human touch as well. If you have a setter sends a selfie video, or the closer sends a selfie video, or if you're closing your deals and you do not have a sales team yet, you're going to be sending these selfie videos yourself, and also sending them a WhatsApp message, Telegram message, or real iPhone, iMessage text to them, so that they can ask whatever questions they have until the sales calls. And also you can send them relevant sales assets, resources like YouTube videos or any kind of a lead magnet you have that is relevant to them based on the answers that they have given you in the application form, so that you can again reduce the education gap and increase your credibility score until the call. This is also the critical part to have a 80% plus show rate in cold traffic. And one of the best tricks you can have for 80% show rate is to confirming the call on the day of the call. Okay, you're gonna be sending emails, SMS, yes, but an hour before or 2 hours before the call, message your lead, message your prospect that, hey John, we are set to have our meeting at 3 p.m. today, confirming if we are still good to go with that, and so on and so forth. Get the confirmation, send the meeting link to them so that they do not have to go to the calendar, find the link, etc., but they just can click on it on the message part as well. And that is the way you're going to be having 80% plus show rates. As the step 6, this is the advertising engine, which is going to feed the entire machine. The 4 formats that we see that are consistently winning inside the ad accounts are expert myth busting, problem first react, UGC direct to camera, split screen, and also talking heads, case study videos. And the way we are judging our advertising is not through CPMs. CPMs have very little correlation to revenue, unlike what the other gurus say. The metric you should be ultimately tracking is going to be the cost per booked call. And I'm going a little bit even further. It's going to be cost per qualified booked call. And finally, after you build out your funnel, the last step is to validate the offer, to validate the funnel, optimizing it and scaling it further. As the step 1, you're going to be validating your offer on cold traffic. Once you have stable cost per application, cost per qualified booked call at the range you're optimizing for, that means that you're on the right track. And if there's a problem with the closing side, closing aspect, you should probably improve your sales operations a little bit rather than the advertising. And that dictates your show rate and your closing rate in the optimization phase. And in order to scale up your funnel, you should be upping your budget, increasing your budget, while cost per qualified booked call holds at the same level. Obviously, as you scale more and as you reach more of your total addressable market, you're gonna have increasing metrics. Just because of the marketing adoption curve, search it up, you're gonna understand what I mean. But if there's any problem inside your funnel about booking calls, you should probably fix the script in your landing page and your advertising, not the targeting settings inside the ad account. If the page doesn't convert, nothing does, because at the end of the day, the page is critical in order for you to convince people to book a call with you. If there's any leak in the bucket, you should be never scaling it, because the more you pour in it, the more it is gonna leak. So first, fix the leak point and then start pouring more. And also the ad spend follows the closer capacity as well. The more you spend on your ad, the more salespeople that you should be having in your sales team so that you can keep up with the volume. Do not overwhelm them with a lot of calls. Do not be afraid to onboard new salespeople in your sales team. And once you implement all of these properly, be patient, optimize correctly, you're going to be scaling your business to 100K a month, 500K a month, or even $1 million a month. But if you want me and my team to build this for you, for your business, there's an application link right below this video that you can fill out and book in a call with me. In that meeting, I'm going to try to understand your business and your current state and give you my honest thoughts on how we can help you or whether or not we can help you. So if you book in a call with me, I'm gonna see you in the call. For those who do not, that's fine. Make sure to like the video. If there's any questions inside your head, leave them below. I'm gonna try to answer them or even make a video about them in the future. If you want more videos like this come your way, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the video and I'm gonna see you soon.